simulating a nuclear disaster. With the change in Taiwan's leadership imminent, protesters in the capital Taipei fear a reversal to the government's planned abolition of nuclear energy.
我们觉得很不幸的就是蔡英文即将卸任，那现在就由这个赖清德总统执政之后呢，立法院里面国民党也占了多数，所以也许永和的这个势力又会从头来过。
President Tsai Ing-wen's successor is her vice president Lai Ching-te. But while their Democratic Progressive Party, or DPP, won the presidency for a third term in January elections, the opposition Kuomintang, or KMT, won a slight majority of legislative seats and now hopes to undo the DPP's nuclear energy phase-out. The DPP has its roots in the anti-nuclear movement, and since the party's founding in 1986, it has worked towards phasing out nuclear energy. Back then, nuclear power made up over 40% of Taiwan's energy mix. When President Tsai Ing-wen took office 30 years later, it was at 12%. Now it's at 6%.
And that all comes from here, Taiwan's last running nuclear power plant. Under the DPP's no nuclear homeland policy launched in 2017, President Tsai has overseen the shutdown of 2 others, leaving just this one, which is also set to close by next year.
Tsai has had to balance meeting a global commitment to net zero emissions with skyrocketing industrial demand for energy domestically, especially from power-intensive semiconductor manufacturing. More than 90% of the world's most advanced chips are made here. Since the start of Tsai's 8 years in office, Taiwan's share of renewable energy, like solar and wind, has doubled, from 5% to almost 10%, still a long way from the 2025 target of 20%. But the breakneck speed of this energy transition has led to disputes over land with local communities and greater reliance on imported methane gas, which, like coal, is vulnerable to supply disruptions and emits more potent greenhouse gases.
对，但是它毕竟还是火力发电，那还是会造成不少的排放。对，那所以其实终极的目标还是希望说再生能源的比例可以大幅的提高。
A growing number of nuclear energy advocates say that to avoid an energy crisis, Taiwan must rethink its most controversial power source.
I support the idea of developing renewable energy, but you have to keep the base load. And the base load must be nuclear, because if we are talking about green, then nuclear is the solution. And this green energy is actually recognized by most countries in the world.
Despite her administration's push towards phasing out nuclear energy, Tsai leaves office with public opinion on the matter still divided. And there are external factors also at play, like military threats from neighboring China, which claims sovereignty over Taiwan.
Nuclear energy is one of these issues that's long contested in Taiwanese politics, and that is true before Tsai's term, and it will be true after. But I think what's interesting, too, is that under Tsai, we do see rising threats from China. And so it has come up a few times, for example, that nuclear could potentially be useful in the event of a Chinese invasion because of the fact that there would be needs for energy.
Under Tsai, Taiwan's energy program has seen a change in winds. She has expanded renewables and faithfully continued the DPP's no nuclear homeland policy. But with growing calls for a rethink, her no-nuke supporters may see their worst fears come to light when she passes on the torch. Kris and Sally Jensen for TaiwanPlus.